tomorrow is budget. What will you do?
Yeah. This year's budget has been a status quo budget for the health concerns. The only two silver lines is that there has been an import duty reduction for X-ray components as well as the cancer drugs. And there has been some increment in investment into intersectorial coordination in zoonotic diseases as well as AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Having said that, it's a status quo budget. The amount of investment that the governments bring, the total national health expenditure is around 4% of the GDP, which works out to 13 lakhs crores. The private sector brings about 2.9% of the GDP, which is around 9.4 lakh crores to the table in health. All the governments put together, including the central government and the state governments, they bring 1.1% of the GDP, which is around 3.6 lakh crores. And if you calculate, 2/3 of the health budget comes from the state governments, 1/3 comes from the central government. And the economy has moved from 3.2 trillion to 4 trillion. And normally what was 1/3 contribution by the central government, now the 1.1% of the 4 trillion is 3.6 lakh crores, which is what the governments have brought, which means provision of 90,000 crores, 87 or 90,000 crores, works out to 1/4. The central government share of the health budget of the country has actually gone down. If you take into consideration the inflation and the expansion of the economy, actually the health investment has come down. There are one or two things. The NHM, which consumes around 36,000 crores, the idea of NHM is outdated. The ministry should take direct charge of the National Health Mission. That is one thing that we would want to point out. The second thing we would want to point out is the PMJY. 66% of the money goes to government hospitals. Let government fund government hospitals directly and use PMJY only for strategic purchase from private sector. The announcements last year of sickle cell disease and HPV vaccine for cervical cancer have not been rolled out. What were promised in the last budget have actually not happened in the ground. So I am sure that government would look into all the expectations from the health fraternity, especially from the medical profession. And perhaps in the journey of this government, we will see much more changes in health.